and welcome to a very windy Snetterton. This is your Lotus On Track 2014 season. I'm Kiri Bloor and we've got an action-packed programme for you. The Lotus Cup UK, the Lotus On Track Elise Trophy. And we're not just here. We're also here in Germany at the legendary Hockenheim circuit. It is the home of the F1 Grand Prix this year, and it is also home to our Lotus Cup Europe first round. We'll be getting you all of the action. We're here to talk about your new car, the car that's the factory car. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's the Elise S Cup R, so it's a 1.8 supercharged Elise. Very sort of 90% road car, but with an aerodynamic pack for racing, and we're now in the process of modulating the performance for it to fit in the production category in the Lotus Cup series.
Now, it's obviously quite an exciting season for you with the car that everybody is dying to hear about, plus 3 new drivers. So far, what's it been like for you?
It's been a little bit of a challenge for the team, getting the cars right and getting them out on the track for a start. The season picks up on you very quickly when you're running 3 cars, but all good so far.
Huge field then assembled for the opening round of the 2014 Lotus Cup UK. It's Marcus Jewell who took pole position from Adrian Hall, then the artist formerly known as Chris Vandal, Fabio Randaccio in 3rd place. Adam Gore heads the production championship runners in 14th from James Little and Andrew Bentley. Ollie Hancock well up, sharing with Gisela Ketvel. Stuart Plotneck always climbs through the field, so watch for him in car 5 from 22nd. And great to see Ryan Savage back for his first full season of racing. Gigantic pack here on the Snetterton 300, a 90-minute race ahead of us, a rolling start as ever in the Lotus Cup UK. We're about to go racing in car with Matthias Radestock as he moves up through the gears, waiting for the lights on the gantry to flash to green, and now he's able to plant his right foot, accelerating on towards Riches for the first time, and it's the bright orange 211 of Marcus Jewell who's looking to take the early advantage, but swooping through around the outside. It's Ken Savage in the yellow car who moves up into lead the race. Marcus Jewell following through in 2nd, then we've got Adrian Hall and Fabio Randaccio just in behind. Natural hairpin, Savage braked a little bit deeply as the rest of them all scrabbling for space, and side by side there for the production race lead between Andrew Bentley, the red and white car, and the Gore, the blue machine, and they have got the silver car of Ollie Hancock just in behind them as already through Palmer, accelerating on to Agostini. Plenty of jostling for position in these early stages still. Gore and Bentley side by side as they sprint on towards the left-hand hairpin. Back in car with Matthias Radestock, found out on the brakes in front of him. He moves down through the gears, maybe looking to move ahead of Jason Baker. This is the fight for 2nd then between Adrian Hall and Fabio Randaccio. Randaccio running a little bit wide over the curbs, the exit of Hamilton. This is the first racing lap of the season, of course, as they turn through Oggies and therefore just finding a little bit of grip as Ken Savage always goes well here at Snetterton, trying to pull clear of Adrian Hall. In Randaccio, come out of our sight to pose Marcus Jewell. There he is in the bright orange car in 4th position as they sprint down the Bentley straight for the first time. On the brakes in front of Nelson, Randaccio looks to challenge Adrian Hall and goes through into 2nd place. Will he hold it then for the left-hander at Nelson? Indeed he does. He might just slither out wide, squirts on towards the bomb hole, and then we've got Adam Balon who's next up in 4th place. Marcus Jewell therefore losing another position in the production championship race. It's still Andrew Bentley leading it from Adam Gore and Ollie Hancock. Then we've got Gavin Kershaw who is next along. So Craig Denman just in behind through Coram for the first time and into Murray's. And that show's got Adrian Hall sniffing all over his tail. A pair of them beginning to move clear of Adam Balon. And don't forget, this is a 90-minute race. They've got a mandatory pit stop they all must make halfway through, and therefore there's plenty to lose, maybe not so much to gain by pushing too hard in these early stages. Sprinting along the centre straight into Riches once more. Randaccio setting off in pursuit of Ken Savage. Savage, though, needing to stretch quite the tidy advantage for these early stages of the race. So he clips the apex Montreal. Randaccio runs a little bit wide now. That could give Adrian Hall the opportunity to challenge back as Hall draws underneath the rear spoiler. Randaccio, lick of flame on the gear shift as they turn into Palmer. Adrian Hall asking all the right questions. He's got a little bit of breathing space behind him because Adam Balon, several car lengths back. The change then for 2nd in the production championship race is the silver car, Ollie Hancock, ahead of Adam Gore. Behind, they're all swarming around, trying to gain ground. It's still Andrew Bentley seesawing the wheel to the fore of the battle as the former Renault BARC champion Ollie Hancock looks to move them to the production battle. Adrian Hall continues his pursuit of Fabio Randaccio, no way through as yet. Balon in the immaculate Exigence V6 Cup R, then in 4th place, trying to close up onto the tail of this dicing duo. All the while though, Ken Savage moving further clear at the head of the pack. He's probably 2 or 3 seconds away from Randaccio already. Very impressive stuff as they turn throh Brundle and Nelson once more, and Randaccio just clips the curb, does well to gather it all up, and in fact maybe gains a car length or so over Adrian Hall through the camber of the bottom hole and to the ever-tightening core of curve. There's Balon, and then in 5th place is Jack Goff, the British Touring Car Championship racer, making good progress. He's just ahead of Adam Knight. Out of Murray's then once more for the race leader Ken Savage, with Randaccio headlights ablaze, still being pursued by Adrian Hall as they sprint onto the centre straight. Bentley and Adam Gore locked it back, so Ollie Hancock has dropped back momentarily. It's the bright blue car then, the Rob Boston Racing run machine of Adam Gore up into 2nd position in the production championship fight, chasing down Andrew Bentley. Had so many good battles, the pair of them, last year in the Lotus Cup Elise trophy. Forward to hostilities being resumed this year in the Lotus Cup UK. Gore looking to go to terms with Bentley as they come out of Murray's, accelerate along the centre straight, and Adam Gore may be able to take advantage of the slipstream here. While Ken Savage leads, although it would appear maybe as if Randaccio just a little bit closer this time around. The tail of Ken Savage, and Balon not too far adrift either. As we catch a glimpse then, the number 1 car, that is the 2013 Lotus Cup UK Supersport champion Simon Deacon, because in the Lotus Cup UK there are 2 championships, the Supersport Championship and the Production Championship. You do get some into class battles as we see there, with the setters being chased down by Stuart Clockneck. The same going for Simon Deacon here. He's got the Exige of Freddie and Benji Hetherington, very, very quick brothers, in pursuit and looking, if they can, to try and squeeze through. Deacon, though, all running very wide at Williams. He may well lose a place here, Simon Deacon. He just snatched a break, slid a little bit wide. He's going to come under pressure. No such concerns, though, for Adam Gore. He's got Andrew Bentley in his wheel track, or rather Adam Gore has made his way through past Andrew Bentley. So again, Gore upwardly mobile in the early stages of the race. Now he's got some heat in his tyres. Matthias Radstock looking to do the same to Stuart Clockneck into Riches. Oh, there wasn't a lot of space there. They very nearly make contact, and Matthias Radstock gets out of that move at the last minute. Meanwhile, Craig Demon beginning to put the pressure here on to Ollie Hancock. Hancock, who's just going to half distance before he hands over to Shane Kepler. The same for Craig Demon. It's John the Master who will steer the British Racing green and yellow 65 car home to the checkered flag. The leading group of cars all seem to be closing up on each other as we have a challenge for 4th, and it's Jack Goff who darts to the inside of Adam Balon into Murray's, gains the position. Goff, who's got a very, very busy 2014 ahead of him, full campaign the British Touring Car Championship, so whatever else he can get his hands on. As ever in Lotus Cup UK, battles going on throughout the field. Simon Oakley in the thick of the action as he looks to climb up through the field as a big spin. Around goes Philip Britton. Should get that car stopped just about in time. Indeed he does. 5 second and third, ever tighter. Adrian Hall taking advantage of the traffic to really come back onto terms with Fabio Randaccio, diving into the bomb hole. They make their way past Bartlett in the number 13 car. A little bit more traffic for them to deal with as well. Nick Pink comes in to hand over to ex-Boss GP racer Scott Mansell. Also in Andrew Bentley, as are father and son duo Doug and Chris Setters. It's getting very busy, but we can hear Tom Chatterway.
I'm a bit off the pace at the moment. Steve's doing his best to help me. My main concern was to get the car back into one piece and give it to Steve to hopefully put some fast laps together.
So Tom Chatterway will be an anxious spectator for the remainder of the race as Jack Goff has got himself onto terms here with Adrian Hall. This has been a very impressive performance from Goff, and he's brought Adam Baylor with him for company. So we've got a lovely three-way scrap beginning to form up here for second position. As bouncing across the dust, it's Ryan Savage in the Production Championship. Elise, who rejoins Riches. Into the pit lane comes Marcus Jewell. This win is Philip Brisson to hand over to the very rapid Ryan Hooker. There is Fabio Randaccio. Baylon ducks in to replenish the fuel. As a problem for race leader Ken Savage, the 211 smokes and Savage pulls off the road. So the man who took the lead as the lights went out into the first corner, Ken Savage, a dramatic retirement as we hit the midway point of the opening round of the Lotus Cup UK here at Snetterton. We're going to take a short break. Join us in a couple of moments' time as the action continues. Welcome back to Lotus on Track, the opening round of the 2014 Lotus Cup UK on the Snetterton 300 circuit, and this the battle for third position as Phil Capstick and Simon Deacon go wheel to wheel down the Bentley Straight, and Deacon in the 211, last year's champion, swoops through, takes third position away from Phil Capstick, certainly just assumed command of the 22 car from Jack Goff. Now Deacon's into third, what can he do about the race leaders? To bail on Adrian Hall, right ahead of him. Meantime, Phil Capstick will do what he can. Here is the battle for lead the race. The green car of Adam Bale on the white machine of Adrian Hall. And after Ken Savage's dramatic retirement we saw just before the break, this has been really where all eyes have been focused at Snetterton. They've been nose to tail for the past couple of laps, and now with the time ticking away on the race clock, Adrian Hall's got to make his move. As Mads Pedersen makes one of his own. Unfortunately, it's a quick spin. He should rejoin though with no problems. Baylon in the Exige V6 Cup R, doing everything he can to keep the Honda-powered Exige S1 of Adrian Hall behind him. They turn through Williams and on to the straight. Now can Adrian Hall use the slipstream to try and draw off the tail of Adam Baylon? The challenge that Adrian Hall has got here though is that Baylon's car is faster in the straight line, whereas Adrian Hall in that white 73 car, slightly shorter wheelbase, is much more nimble and agile through the corners. He's making the ground up, but then every time he looks to challenge Baylon, Adam is just able to plant his right foot and begin to pull clear. So through the bomb hole, they're coming into some traffic, and this is where Adrian Hall will look to try and capitalise as they then run into Coram Curve through the ever-tightening right-hander before they arrive into the left-handed flick at Murray's. You can see Adrian Hall is within half a car length of Adam Baylon as they turn into Murray's, but now if Baylon can square the exit, which is exactly what he does, he's already pulling clear. He's 6 or 7 car lengths adrift by the time they get to the start and finish line. Meanwhile, in the Production Championship race, it's Jason Baker who leads the way. The second of the Rob Boston Racing cars we lost, unfortunately, to mechanical failure. Adam Gore earlier on. And this is the challenge for fourth position. It's Adam Knight who dives to the inside of Phil Capstick. So Knight, the black number 15 car, up to fourth. There's Gavin Kershaw, number 11 car, in the Elise Cup R, past the sister car of John Hill Evans, or at least attempts to. As Kershaw sets off in pursuit of Jason Baker. It's always good to see Gavin Kershaw in action as we are now into the last lap of the race. And can Adam Baylon hold on here from Adrian Hall? Through the bomb hole, and Baylon has a slight stutter there, and this is Hall's best opportunity for the past couple of laps here. And again, Adam Baylon on the brakes very early at Coram Curve. Adrian Hall thinks about challenging to the outside, can't quite do it, then to the inside line into Murray's. He launches for the move, but he can't squeeze through, and Adam Baylon accelerates out of Murray's along the centre straight for the final time, and he is going to have put together a masterclass of defensive driving to win the opening round of the 2014 Lotus Cup UK at Snetterton. Adrian Hall, a very fine second position, with Simon Deacon completing the podium. But what of the Production Championship race, because Gavin Kershaw was closing on Jason Baker, and here's Baker. He comes out of Nelson, not too far to go, but he's slowing, and problems for Jason Baker. Just wonder whether or not he's run out of fuel. He chops across, the car trying to unlap itself, but the bomb hole, and there is Gavin Kershaw. He closes in to Baker into Coram Curve, and Gavin Kershaw, with just a couple of 100 metres left in the race, takes the lead of the production championship race away from Jason Baker. So disaster for Baker. He slips to second. It's Kershaw who's going to take a somewhat unexpected victory. Baker will claim second and a spot on the rostrum, but frustrating for him nonetheless, with Stuart Plotneck completing the production championship podium. What a dramatic way to kick off the season in the Lotus Cup UK. Race filled with excitement here at Snetterton. Let's have a look at the final results. Adam Balon then victorious from Adrian Hall by just 3/4 of a second after 90 minutes of racing. Simon Deacon completing the podium. And then it was Gavin Kershaw 10th overall from Jason Baker and Stuart Plotneck amongst the production runners, with Matthias Radestock a fine 4th. Despite the dramas along the way, 27 of them made it to the flag. After a hard afternoon's racing, time to celebrate with the trophies and bubbly on the Snetterton rostrum.
An overall winner and Exigence class winner as well. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. It's my first ever win, so I'm delighted.
And it was a battle right to the end as well, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Adrian kept me pretty honest all the way. The last 20 minutes were a long 20 minutes.
I was hoping for a win today, but the V6 Cup, the new V6s are just so fast. It was all about braking and trying to make up the time in the corners, but yeah, I'm really pleased with second. First in the class, yeah, it's great.
First time out, obviously. Won here at the end of last season, and to come back and get third overall and first in class, really happy.
Well, the grid kind of cleared for you, didn't it?
Yeah, it's also parting of the waves, but no, I'll take it when it's there. But it's great advert for the car, and you know, people generally think they can race it, and it's not a massive advantage. So no, it's really good.
One race down, this is how the championship looks in the Supersport standings. Adrian Hall just a point clear, Adam Balon with Simon Deacon snapping at their heels. And in production, Gavin Kershaw 5 points advantage over Jason Baker and Stuart Plotneck.
It's now time for the Lotus On-Track Elise Trophy. Now it's slightly different this year because it's been turned into a championship. So let's get inside and find out what the drivers think about the changes.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's fantastic, so I think it'll be good. It'll bring a lot more drivers in, some professionals, which will be good to race against. Yeah, looking forward to it.
You know, obviously having something to go for at the end of the year makes it even better. It's a great championship, close racing, and a friendly bunch of people as well.
Hopefully it'll bring in some better drivers and should help the rest of us, non-professionals, should drag us along.
I think it's an excellent idea because it gives us slightly slower, but maybe, hopefully, a little bit more reliable drivers a bit more of a chance.
The cars are now lining up for the first race of 2014. It is the Lotus On-Track Elise Trophy that is about to start with Adam Gore on pole.
Absolutely huge field of them as well. So it's Adam Gore from Craig Denman, then Adam Knight and Jack Goff. See how Goff goes. Fulvio Musi from 8th on the grid as well. I think we can expect to see him flying up the order. Graham Foley lining up in 13th has got faster and faster as he's gained experience at the wheel of these Lotus Elises. And further back, Chris Perkins, very experienced driver, 24th, though he's got a fair bit to do. In all, 34 of them due to line up. As we sit in car with Matthias Radestock, eyes to the gantries, red lights flash out, and away we go. It's a super getaway from the predominantly white car of Fulvio Musi. Less good a start from Matthias Radestock as into riches for the first time. It is Adam Gore who leads it from Jack Goff, turning through in 2nd position. Further back, they're all being a little bit tentative, but they would appear to have got through cleanly, which is what we wanted to see, including the car of Stefan Donnelly, son of XF1 driver Martin Donnelly, making his race debut this weekend. Neil Stoddart aims to move up the order as he looks to challenge to gain ground, as Musi already up to 3rd, darting to the inside of Jason Baker. Yes, Neil Stoddart did gain the place there on Richard Hill-Evans. Comes under pressure from Paul Baker. Neil Lives in the meantime. David Alexander has got Matthias Radstock launching to the inside of him, and they very nearly collect Seth Walpole as well. That was demon braking from Radestock. Fulvio Musi has got Craig Denman for company as the pair of them arrive into Oggies. This is the fight then for 3rd and 4th. You could just about make it 5th as well, because Jason Baker is not too far back. He's looking to try and take advantage of the slipstream. As ever behind, it's fast and frantic. there is Graham Foley. He's made a couple of places in these early stages. As Adam Gore looks to put the disappointment of yesterday's Lotus Cup UK race behind him. He's already building a nice advantage over Jack Goff as David Alexander and Matthias Radstock go wheel to wheel down the Bentley straight. Radestock just losing out though to Alexander. We go in car then. Radestock as he now darts the inside of Seth Walpole. Thinks about challenging David Alexander as well into the bomb hole, and he should make that stick. Brilliant driving from Matthias Radestock. Another driver who always goes well here at Snetterton. The leading trio just beginning to stretch their legs though at the head of the pack, with Jack Goff in second place coming under pressure from Fulvio Mussi. And this is the beauty of one-mate racing. When you've got these professional drivers at the front, it gets so tight because the margins are absolutely minute. That's why Mussi, he is just trying to close in onto the tail of Jack Goff, but he can't get that crucial third of a car length or so that he really needs to look to challenge. You can see him just feathering the brakes into Coram, and Fulvio Mussi launches the move on Jack Goff. Goff though covers the outside line through Coram. Mussi gets his nose in front, but it's Goff who's got the inside line for Murray's. That should be sufficient for Jack Goff to at least maintain the place for another lap. A while though, pulling clear of Craig Denman in fourth position. David Alexander slithering wide at Motul, and that is the place gained for Matthias Radestock. As a result of that, he is steadily picking his way up through the order. 99 car Richard Hill Evans being chased then by the blue and grey machine of Neil Loemsey. Neil can always be relied upon for a very good looking car. Jack Goff can be relied upon for a very effective defensive line into Murray's, as that's the second time he's really had to drive Lotus Elise the width of this Snetterton circuit to keep Fulvio Mussi behind him. And at the moment he's doing a very good job of that. This is why Jack Goff is one of the rising stars of the British Touring Car Championship. He's not driving with his mirrors here, he's just got that car in all the right places at all the right times. But can Mussi, as we move into the latter stage of the race, find a way to squeeze through? Graham Foley and Neil Stotter hard at battle. Stotter's in the blue machine, head of the black car of Foley. They've got the silver entry of David Alexander just closing in behind them as well. So they all sprint into Coram Curve. Wherever you look in the field, there are always battles to be found. Mark Yates losing position there to David Hay. Radestock looking to gain more ground. That's a very, very tight move though on Adam Knight into the bomb hole. Knight having none of it. It's a spin for Simon Oakley. Trying to put Oakley's race in the shade. Also, Chris Perkins has a rotation, but it's of no concern to Adam Gore because he takes victory in the first Lotus Elise Trophy race of 2014 and the first ever championship points awarded in a Lotus Elise Trophy race. Let's have a look then at the classification. Adam Gore wins it. Jack Goff did hold off Fulvio Mussi. Craig Denman was fourth, and Jason Baker completed the top five from a charging Matthias Radestock in sixth. Graham Foley up into 11th place, clear of Seth Walpole. And then Benoit Roger across from France completed the finishers in 27th.
Adam, congratulations, first race of the season and a win, well done.
Yeah, very pleased, got a good start and just kept my head down and got a good break, so very pleased.
Yeah, it's a good race, one step lower on the podium than I would have liked, but yeah, second's not too bad.
Finished third in the first race, start third in the second, with Gore, Jack and the others at the back. Hopefully that'll give me the chance to make a break at the start and be on the top step rather than the bottom step.
We'll be back with more Elise Trophy after the break. Now we're on the grid for race 2 of the Lotus on-track Elise Trophy. It's a reverse grid, so the first 10 have reversed. That puts Martin Wills on pole, and race winner Adam Gore is now starting in 10th position. Let's see the action.
With the top 10 from qualifying reversed, the grid has a somewhat different complexion, with Martin Wills then in pole position from Richard Hill Evans. Adam Gore starts 10th, but what can Jack Goff do from 7th? Fulvio Mussi as well could well go from the second row of the grid as the red lights are out now, and away we go. It's a good start from poleman Martin Wills, and with the narrow centre straights here, they all fan out, jockeying in position, sprinting into riches for the first time. It's the white car of Wills who finds a way. Fulvio Mussi in second place, Jason Baker turns through in third, ahead of Jack Goff in fourth. Ready, Adam Gore, the blue machine, up to 7th place. Somehow they're all cleaning through Riches into Montreal, and it's Fulvio Mussi who arrives with his nose in front, departs with it in second as he outbrakes himself slightly. Everybody else cleanly through the hairpin and sprinting on to the left-hander at Palmer, and still Wills has got the advantage from Mussi, Goff, Baker and Gore. So the quick men from the weekend moving to the front, the exception maybe being Craig Demon. There he is in the bright orange 92 car, who looks to gain ground to the inside of Seth Walpole. Matthias Radestock tries to follow in Denman's wheel tracks with limited success through Agostini. Sprinting onto the very quick left-hander at Hamilton, where Fulvio Mussi has taken the lead of the race. So it's Mussi who leads. Jack Goff in the black 31 car doing all he can to climb into second place. He should do it by the time they arrive into Williams. He does just that, but has, as a result, Goff cost himself momentum down the long Bentley straight. And look at the speed carried by Adam Gore, the bright blue number 9 car, as they form that train to the inside of the road. Goff to the head of it, and then just behind Martin Wills and Adam Gore. And Jack Goff does enough to maintain that second position, with Adam Gore now up into 3rd place through Brundle and Nelson. It's Fulvio Mussi out over the curbs as he sprints to the bomb hole, trying to build whatever buffer he can over the charging pack behind. Quick to break clear of the rest of the pack as they accelerate out of the bomb hole on towards Coram Curve. Jack Goff coming under sustained pressure already from Adam Gore, but Goff has got 1 or 2 tricks up his sleeve, and as we were hearing Gore earlier on, this is what he's really looking forward to this season in the Lotus Elise Trophy. He's racing against these professional drivers and really giving himself a benchmark as to his true pace. But at the moment, Gore is holding his own pretty well. Jason Baker and Martin Wills go side by side for 4th, and Jason Baker swoops around the outside line. Race winner last year at Alton Park, Jason Baker, and he is in pursuit then of the 3 men battling for the podium places. Martin Wills slipping down another position. He has already got Adam Knight snapping at his heels. There's Knight in the darker car, the Dark Knight one might say, as he's in 6th place, chasing in onto the fight for 4th. She's just beginning maybe to lose touch with the leading trio. Further back, as ever, battles to be found throughout the field. Chris Perkins coming under pressure from Paul Patterson. Fulvio Mussi has been reeled in somewhat by Jack Goff, turning through Oggies. We could be in for an absolutely fantastic race here, because these 3 are all at the very, very top of their game. Out of Williams, and again, Adam Gore carrying that momentum beautifully onto the Bentley straight. Fulvio Mussi knows it, that's why he is right to the inside of the road and sticks there. He's going to make Jack Goff do this the hard way, try and challenge around the outside line, and that's what Goff looks to do, and he gets his nose in front and takes the lead of the race. So Jack Goff moves to the head of the field. Adam Gore tries to slide through into 2nd position. Fulvio Mussi having none of that though. He is now caught in the bun here, because he has got to try and attack to regain his lead, but at the same time he knows that Adam Gore is there in 3rd place, looking to elevate himself the order. Jason Baker in 4th, not too far adrift either through Coram Curve. Adam Gore just drops a couple of car lengths back from Fulvio Mussi and Jack Goff, and with good reason. You can see Mussi drops a couple of wheels over the curb on the Exeter Murrays. That could give Mussi to the road. Great foe that he's had a folly somewhere, because he has damage to his car, his race at an end. Back to this fight then for the lead, and again Mussi into defensive mode. He's got Gore looking to the outside line as David Hay makes the pass on David Stead through Riches. Mussi still withstanding the pressure from Adam Gore, but as the pair of them battle like this, it's allowing Jack Goff at the head of the pack just to begin to ease a couple of car lengths clear of this squabble for 2nd position, while Jason Baker, before he doesn't overcook it, is very well poised in 4th position, looking to try and close in as well. On the Bentley straight now, can Fulvio Mussi take advantage of the slipstream to close a couple of those car lengths back up to Jack Goff? They hit the brakes, turn in to Brundle. There's 2 car lengths between 1st and 2nd, the same from 2nd to 3rd. Out of Nelson on towards the bomb hole. It really is becoming a 4-way scrap, because Jason Baker has slowly but steadily begun to reel in his stablemate at Rob Boston Racing. There's the website if you want to visit it. In 3rd position, Adam Gore through Coram Curve, And Jack Goff now coming under pressure from Fulvio Mussi, who looks to exert the pressure through Murray. She doesn't look to challenge Jack Goff. Instead, he'll maybe try and draw alongside as they power up the centre straight. Further back, Stefan Donnelly in his debut race weekend in the 41 car, going steadily as he climbs up the order as Mussi challenges Jack Goff into riches and takes the lead of the race. Lovely pass that by Fulvio Mussi. It's been several laps in the making. Now, what has Jack Goff got by way of response? He goes side by side with Mussi into the Montreal hairpin. But Goff's now going to have to get his elbows out, try and keep Adam Gore behind him. This is one-mate racing at its very, very best. What a way to start the Lotus Elise Trophy season, because these drivers are absolutely on the ragged edge. You can see just lifting a wheel. Fulvio Mussi has accelerated out of Palmer, and the exertion is the same throughout the field. Seth Walpole and Neil Livesey interlocking wheels as they jink through Montreal. Till Evans, maybe a little bit of daylight to himself and Walpole, and then Livesey. Well, look at the fight for second and third place as Jack Goff squeezed the outside at Hamilton, and he's going to lose out here to Adam Gore, or is he? Because he keeps the car to the inside line into Wookiees, reclaims the place, and all of that gives Jason Baker the opportunity to rejoin this fight. It also, more importantly, gives Fulvio Mussi maybe the opportunity just to begin to ease clear at the head of the field. That's really what Mussi wants to do, because these cars are so evenly matched, very tightly controlled by the championship regulations, very closely checked in scrutineering, means there's very little to choose between the cars, and therefore every tenth these drivers can find on the track is absolutely invaluable. As a result, Mussi had pulled clear of Jack Goff to the tune of 3 or 4 car lengths. That is now back to 2 car lengths. They exit the bomb hole. Adam Gore lurking with intent. The same goes for Nicolas Gambini, the French driver, as he is continuing his charge up through the order. It's Pink just ahead of him. This is the beauty of Lotus Elise Trophy racing. Wherever you look in the field, there is always something to race with. That's why there are so many drivers with that yellow stick with the black cross on it in the field. That means they're novice drivers, only done a handful of races. And Matthias Radstock has a big spin in the front of the pack, and bang! And receives contact. Not sure who that was from. It's one of the SO cars, and yeah, it's Graham Foley who made contact with him. So disaster that for Matthias Radestock, as we have a replay of Jason Baker, and he did overcook it. Quick spin at the Montreal hairpin. That's a real shame for Jason Baker, because he was well set for potentially a podium finish. Chris Perkins, meanwhile, has got Matthias Radestock, Paul Patterson in pursuit. So Radestock, despite that contact from Graham Foley, is able to continue without too much drama. From Patterson, though, eliminates himself from that scrap. Seth Walpole, Hill Evans, and Neil Livesey scrap continuing at pace. Seth Walpole, though, has reeled in Richard Hill Evans. He's moved clear. He's brought Neil Livesey with him for company. This, though, the fight for 5th position, which was involving Martin Wills, Craig Denman and Adam Knight. It now just involves Adam Knight, with Craig Denman having gained the place after that spin from Martin Wills. Fulvio Mussi, though, leading the way still from Jack Goff and Adam Gore as they accelerate towards the checker flag, and it's going to be victory in the Lotus Elise Trophy at Snetterton for Fulvio Mussi. Very nicely judged race that from Mussi. Second place to Jack Goff, and Adam Gore, despite all his efforts, couldn't elevate himself up from 3rd position as Paul Baker and David Hay. Mark Yates as well, all at it through Brundle Nelson for the final time, and Mark Yates goes wide across the grass, rejoins. I don't think he let off the accelerator at all there. He's still going to try and keep Tim Morrison behind him as he flicks it sideways. He certainly had fun. Probably time to invest in the new set of tyres, though, as again Yates lights it up, coming out of Murray's for the final time en route to the flag at the end of what was a very lively and entertaining race throughout the field. It was a very, very large field at that in the Lotus Elise Trophy. The drivers rightly acknowledging the efforts of the marshals from the weekend. Fulvio Mussi victorious, Jack Goff in 2nd, Adam Gore completing the podium, Jason Baker in 4th despite that spin from Adam Knight, Craig Denman And Martin Wills, Neil Stottert completes the top 10, just ahead of the very lively Neil Livesey. It was Simon Oakley and Matthias Radestock in 13th, despite that instant. Stefan Donnelly in 25th place and Benoit Roger completing the finishes. Time to celebrate the podium.
That was a determined drive.
Yeah, it certainly was. We had, one set goal, that was to take the lead on the first lap, ideally the first 2 corners, which didn't quite come to fruition, but as soon as I had that gap, I knew I had to make my break before the other boys came through the grid as well. And yeah, we did that.
Yeah, that top step's been a little bit hard to get this weekend, but it's been a great fun weekend. I've really enjoyed it, so that's the most important thing.
Just chuffed to be on the podium with those guys because they're amazing. So Jack drove a great race and I just couldn't quite get past him.
2 races down, and this is how the championship's looking, with Adam Gore just a point clear of Fulvio Mussi and Jack Goff only 4 points off the pace as well. We are set for a brilliant season.
We will be back with more after the break. Now it's an incredibly busy weekend here at Hockenheim for the Jim Clark Memorial. Not only is there the Lotus Cup Europe 2 races that we have over the Saturday and Sunday, but there's also hundreds of other different races, including the Boss GP, which runs old Formula 1 cars as well as A1 cars and GP2 cars. There's also the old DTM cars racing here this weekend, and so much more. It's an incredible weekend full of motor racing. The cars line up behind me for the first race of the Lotus Cup Europe 2014. Last year's runner-up, Jonathan Walker, is currently sitting in pole, so it's all to play for.
Certainly is. Huge field of cars for the opening race of the Lotus Cup Europe season. John Walker and Gregory Rass have been rivals for the past few years. They share the front row of Jeremy Loop and Jeremy Lorenko. Jean-Pierre Genou-Prachet, we've seen him winning in the past. He lines up in 11th position. Thomas De Haib heads up the production runners well inside the top 20. Nicola Gibson, very quick runner, but he starts in 29th after problems in qualifying. Rolling start for the first race of the weekend. Let's see how they go as they all begin to form up side by side through the stadium section. The red light flashes to green, away we go. Is it going to be Jonathan Walker or Gregory Rass who leads into the first turn? It's Jonathan Walker who gets his nose in front, then it is Rass into second position behind. It's all very, very tight, but it's Philippe Loop who squeezes through ahead of Jeremy Lorenko as the rest of the pack safely through the first turn and sprinting out through this very fast back section of the circuit on towards the very, very tight hairpin that marks the midpoint of the lap. Here's Jonathan Walker who is leading, although he's under pressure from Rass and Loop. The rest of the pack all jockeying for position in these early stages. Great to see such a variety of cars in the Lotus Cup Europe, with the 211s, the Exigence V6 Cavall, the Evora, plus of course the Elises amongst the production runners. So out of the hairpin and sprinting back towards the first of the 2 stadium sections here. This is the second of them, and the battle for the lead really coming together because Jonathan Walker under significant pressure from Gregory Rass. The pair of them already though breaking clear from the rest of the field as they head through the cambered left-hand hairpin. Then this very quick adverse cambered left-hander onto the double right, a little bit like the old Luffield complex that brings the lap to an end. Sprint along the start and finish straight into this awesomely fast first corner. Really, you just cannot get a sense from television how quick that turn is. If you ever visit Hockenheim, go and watch from there. It's absolutely brilliant. Jean-Pierre Genou-Prachet makes a very brave move and squeezes the inside of Jean-Baptiste Loop, gains the place. Bold driving from Genou-Prachet, but he's got a long way to go. He's going to challenge for the podium places as Walker and Rass continue at the head of the field. The rest of the pack just beginning to settle themselves down. Some side-by-side moments a little bit further down the pack. Anthony Fournier gaining the position as well on Jean-Baptiste Loop through the hairpin. About the production championship, that's being led by Thomas De Haib. He has got Andrew Wright just in behind him as the race leaders once more into the stadium. Still Jonathan Walker doing a good job here of keeping Gregory Rass at bay. Then we've got Philippe Loop in third position. Solid stuff this from Philly. And then Nicola Gibson has raced his way up to fourth from the very back of the grid. Impressive stuff that from Nicola Gibson. He's just clear of Jeremy Lorenko and Xavier Georges as they turn through the right-handers, complete another lap. Already the race leaders out of the first turn. Sprinting onwards, you can see the advantage that Walker, Rass and Loop have built up over the rest of the field. So plenty of battles to be found throughout the pack, given the real strengths of the Lotus Cup Europe. John Walker and Gregory Rass spent most of last season locked in battle. It really was one of the highlights of the Lotus Cup Europe season, and they've picked up exactly where they left off. Meanwhile, Andrew Wright, beginning in that bright yellow car to ask all the right questions of Thomas Dehaib in the battle for the lead of the production class. As they sprint on towards the hairpin, we're already arriving at the scene as Anthony Fournier, as he tries to pick his way once more around Jean-Baptiste Loop. The pair of them continue their side-by-side action. Sprinting onwards as now Gregory Rass beginning to really exert the pressure on Jonathan Walker. Where do you find your way through here? That's the challenge for Gregory Rass, and he's running out of time. We're moving towards the latter stage of this race, and Jonathan Walker has done everything he needs to do, but you can see both of them, maybe their tyres just getting a little bit warmer than they'd like them to be. They just begin to slide around under braking, and that could give Rass the opening that he needs, as again Walker out over to the periphery of the curbs, doing all he can to keep the Evora of Rass behind him. The same goes for Thomas Dehaib, who has got Andrew Wright glued to his rear bumper. Wright just needs to find an extra car length or so, which Gregory Rass has found. He takes the lead of the race. So Gregory Rass, despite that stout defence from Jonathan Walker, moves to the front. They've still got Philippe Loop for company in third. Loop, who's driven remarkably well over the course of the race, as Sven Pettersson looks to make the move on Frank Laroche. I think he should have been successful there. Yes, the 211 driver Pettersson able to jink through. Andrew Wright, every time we see him, he's ever closer to Dehaib, who makes the mistake at the hairpin. We suspect that's probably just a matter of time for Andrew Wright, as we are getting very, very late into proceedings now, and a problem. Into the gravel trap goes Jeremy Lorenko in the 211. He should be able to rejoin from there. He finds some traction as the checker flag goes out for the first race of the season, and it is claimed by Gregory Rass from Jonathan Walker, a close second. And it's Philippe Luc who completes the rostrum. Lively and entertaining battle. Let's have a look then at the final results. Victory for Rass from John Walker in second. Philippe Luc completes the podium from Nicolas Gibson. Thierry Verheest, Xavier Georges in sixth. Jean-Pierre Crachet completing the top 10. Andrew Wright did win the production battle from Dehaib and John Packer. All 27 of them took the flag. The field completed by Case Verslois. Time to celebrate on the podium.
He's particularly happy because last year at Hockenheim he was involved into a crash, and he has a broken hand. He couldn't compete for the rest of the season. So for his return to Lotus Cup Europe, he wins his class, so he's very happy, and he wants to thank the whole team.
I'm very happy, of course, for me and for the team. A lot of work this winter for do that, okay? And we are very happy today.
It was pretty tough fighting against Thomas, who was last year's champion. We were pretty much neck and neck for about the first 3 quarters of the race. I managed to get past him at the hairpin. He got past me again, and I managed to get past him and keep him behind me. So all in all, it was pretty tough, but managed to get there in the end.
The reason that many are here this weekend, the race weekend at Hockenheim, is for the Jim Clark Memorial. Now, of course, this is the memorial at Hockenheim, set out in memory of the Formula 1 driver who won 2 World Championships, took 33 podiums and 25 race wins. He lost his life in 1968 here in an F2 race. As the cars line up, it's day 2, it's race 2 here in Hockenheim for the Lotus Cup Europe. Jonathan Walker back on pole and Gregory Rass in second. It looks like it's going to be another battle for first position. Let's see the action.
It's a standing start for race 2. It's John Walker who leapt off the line as Philippe Luc was rather stranded, being passed by the bulk of the field. As they sprinted towards the first turn. Walker turning into the lead. Would he be able to hold on? Further back, Andrew Wright and Thomas De Haib were set to once more re-engage in battle for production class honours. Once more, Walker and Rass were the pace of the field, set about building up a huge advantage in the early stages under the beautiful spring sunshine at Hockenheim. Further behind, of course, the battles continued to rage, particularly Philip Luke looking to recover up the pack. Well, Gregory Rass was able to move clear of John Walker and then built a gigantic lead as he was on course to claim a double victory in the opening meeting of the season. Jean-Pierre Genu-Prache and Anthony Fournier had a fine fight amongst their 211s, and the production battle as well was equally keenly fought. To De Haib to the fore ahead of Andrew Wright and John Packer. The three of them, though, constantly swapping places throughout the course of proceedings. Remarkable performance from Philippe Loop in the red 77 car after that terrible start to claim third position, racing his way through the pack. An exceptionally fine drive as Gregory Rass took the double victory, with John Walker once more in second place and Philippe Loop completing the podium. The end of a very busy weekend of racing and two thoroughly entertaining and lively races to kick off the season. So it was Rass from Walker and Loop, Nicolas Ibsen once more in fourth from Thierry Verheest and Xavier Georges. This time Jean-Pierre Genu-Prache in 9th and not 10th. Thomas De Haib scoring production honours from Andrew Wright and John Packer, once more completing the production rostrum. Head of Yves Kureman. Kees Verlois didn't prop up the field this time. That was the honour for Jan Christie. So leaving Hockenheim, Xavier Georges leads the championship standings 2 points clear of Gregory Rass and then Nicolas Frère in third.
Now, as the sun sets behind us here at the legendary Hockenheim circuit, we bid you farewell. It's been an incredible weekend for Lotus Cup Europe and, of course, an incredible weekend with the Jim Clark Memorial. So until next time, we'll see you then.